Okay, what we're doing here is making the new windows. And so when I say we, Clifton's handling this. What we're doing is we're making a plywood template that matches the window exactly. We get it cut out, get our screw holes drilled in, and then we're taking them all out of the boat. These old, look at that, crazed and scratched, and it's gonna be so nice when they're new. But we gotta put this bevel all around the back, and so in order to do that with this real thin edge, it won't catch the bearing on the router. So that's why the template works perfect. And they're mirror image side to side, so we get 2 windows out of every template that we build. And then we run this around the router, and Clifton's putting them on with hot glue, because they got this paper on here that'll come off eventually. So pop them on, route them, take them off, and it just looks perfect. Okay, so you just saw Art finishing up the engine bed stringers. One of the last glassing projects we kind of have before we could paint and install the motor is we wanted to put in a nice drip tray. And so we made a little mock-up and took it up to the boat and fit it. And so this is upside down, of course, because it's not a splash mold, but this little flange right here will land on the engine bed stringers, and this will allow the boat owner to keep a nice clean oil zorb under the motor, be able to wipe it out. It's gel coated, so it'll be shiny and clean. And in the event you do get a leak, it'll be captured in here, easy to clean up. And with this round shape, there's room for plumbing to go down either side between the drip pan, the hull, and the engine bed stringers. So I think that the crew did a good job this week, and we'll finish that up next week and pop it off the mold. Okay, another thing happening here in March is this instructor Matt has property, and his parents live out on Guimas Island just north of here, and if you live on an island you have to have a skiff, and his mom's poor old skiff is just rotten and falling apart, and liked the design though, so he ordered up some marine plywood, and we are going to replicate this. And then, yeah, you can see it was well past time, but yeah, so we're gonna build another skiff. So it's not always just working on King's Pride. Over here, we're starting to set up some new Victron equipment. It's not new, but for another training station. There's that Yanmar we're gonna put into King's Pride. So lots of fun stuff always happening in the lab.
All right, so we have a conventional stern tube bearing housing here. This will be going on to King's Pride, and I've had this freezer, this bearing in the freezer now for a little over the weekend, so it should help to fit.
Okay, this was a big deal. Here comes Cap Sandy Marine, their flatbed and their equipment. A couple 3 layers of tape at the water line because they donated the time for their crew to come and do dustless blasting to remove the bottom paint. And so, super cool. We covered up the through hulls. You can see there we tried to grind a little bit and sand, and it was just brutal. And so this was a great system. They show up, it's got water in it. We had to tarp the entire parking lot and, you know, an extensive area to capture all the stuff, but it just falls to the ground. And you want to do it on a sunny day with no wind, which we had, and that way the recycled glass beads and bottom paint fall down, you sweep them up, and it becomes solid waste. Okay, coolest thing ever, meaning we didn't have to sand or grind it. We've got the bottom paint removed just in time with the blue sky. It's spring. We'll of course do a little fairing and sanding and fun stuff like that, but yeah, one more thing, check off the box. Got rid of all the old bottom paint. Here we go. A little barrier coat on the rudder, super cool. Building a new digital switching display for electrical 3, and there's the battery box. That is going to be for the 3 4-volt Firefly cells. Okay, along the rudder we did the back edge of the Skag, make sure we got some coverage in there before the rudder went on. We're using some Trinidad Pro, thank you Pettit, this was donated. This is $400 a gallon, list price, donate, yeah, look at that, but ouch, what a dent. I don't know, somehow it never leaked, and so I put her in the shaker and we mixed it all up, and just like that we got bottom paint. So we did the 3 coats of barrier. This is 2 coats. This is the first of 2 coats of bottom paint down inside of there. Should be great. Looks really good, all finished up. Awesome just to have some stuff kind of finalized on the boat project here. Okay, while I'm getting ready for coat number 2 of the bottom paint for the rudder and the inside of the Skag so that we can reassemble the rudder next week. A little quick tip. I painted yesterday and didn't want to keep buying new rollers and brushes, so I wrapped these up in a Ziploc, put them in the freezer, just took them out, still totally soft and pliable, so I can use them again. So keep it in the freezer, save some money. Okay, there it is. 2 coats of paint, looked a lot like 1 coat of paint, but ready for the rudder next week. Along with that, we started working on the stern tube assembly with our Coosa board. It was pre-glassed, but the fillet's in, and we're going to glass that on this next week as well. So, almost done with fiberglass work. Thanks for watching.